The US dollar dropped to an 8-month low and the US stock indexes resumed falling amid expectations of the coronavirus impact on the US economy. The US Fed has already lowered the key interest rate by 50 basis points during its emergency meeting. However, market participants expect another key rate cut by the end of the second quarter. A possibility of such decision is boosted by weak macroeconomic reports. In our video review on InstaForex TV channel, we will find out which economic data can shape the market mood next week. Early next week, all eyes will be turned to the inflation figures from various countries. China will be the first to report on its inflation. In January, the consumer price index jumped to the highest level since October 2011. The main reason for such a rise is a skyrocketing demand for consumer goods caused by the Lunar New Year celebration and the coronavirus outbreak. According to the forecast, in February, the consumer price index rose by 5.9% on a yearly basis. Traders can consider such a gain as a sign to remain stuck to their safe haven assets. On Tuesday, the European Union will publish its final inflation data for the fourth quarter. The report is likely to meet previous estimates. In the fourth quarter of 2019, the economic growth of the EU slowed down to 0.9% on a yearly basis. Such news can influence the euro and make the ECB decide on the negative interest rate during the meeting on March 12th. The Bank of England is also considering the monetary policy easing. On Wednesday, the UK will report on its industrial production. Analysts expect positive data on the UK industrial production, however, they do not exclude the weak performance last month. The industrial production figures were rather disappointing. The pound sterling is likely to lose ground if the industrial sector stagnates. The US inflation data is the most important macroeconomic event at the beginning of the week. According to the forecast, the consumer price index advanced by 2.3%. However, traders are pricing in the coronavirus consequences that have made the regulator stick to its monetary policy. The inflation figures are expected to prove resilience of the US economy. Besides, the US dollar can resume its bullish trend. On top of the above-mentioned events, traders will also pay attention to the publication of the following statistics. The Japanese GDP data is slated for release on Monday. Besides, Germany will report on its industrial production. Australia's confidence index will be on tap on Tuesday. China is expected to publish its inflation figures and the producer price index data. On Wednesday, the UK will reveal its GDP data and visible trade balance report. You were watching Forex Trader Calendar on InstaForex TV channel with me, Kate Tikhina. We wish you profitable deals.